All right, let's get rolling. Hope you guys are all doing well. What we're going to do is we're doing absolute value. Some of you guys may have experienced it, some may not. Hope you're all doing well. If you aren't aware that today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So there you go. 50 years of Earth Day. No. 50th anniversary.
It's his birthday.
Oh, unwelcome guest.
Happy birthday.
It's Earth Day. 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm 52, which makes me older than dirt. So there you go. There's your joke. But you guys can't make fun of me now because you guys are all supposed to be muted. So go ahead and mute yourselves because we're videotaping this. But what I want you to do is when I ask you to participate, I want you to participate via chat. And then if you don't want everybody to see your answers, I want you to do it to chat with me privately. Or if you want to show everybody how smart you are, you can just blurt the answers out there on chat as you want. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's get going. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to move that. Okay, so absolute value, what it is absolute value is the distance from zero. And it doesn't matter how far away it is, whether it's positive or negative. It's just how far away it is from zero, okay? So in this case, 3 and -3 are going to have the same value. And the way you write it, so we have the 3 and then -3. But both of those have the same value. And then what we do, the way we write it, is we write these with lines like this. This is the same as this. Let's see. Somebody had a question, I think. Did I not? Who can't hear me? Somebody can't hear me? Okay, thank you, Caleb. I did not hear about the meteor shower thing. We'll work on that later. That's science class. Okay, so anyway, we have -3 equals 3. So what it is it's if you are however far away you are from 0. So this 1, 2, 3 is the same as, let me see if I can do this. Oh, we're going to go with colors. 1, 2, 3. Those both equal 3. Okay? I need to erase this. It looks awful. So that's a -3. So 3 and -3, when you put the brackets around it, it's a lot like, and I realize I have serial killer type of handwriting. So when we get back to class, don't cross me. They both equal the same when it comes to absolute value, okay? It's just how far away it is from 0, okay? All right, so what we're going to do this is going to get erased from the screen. So we're going to say goodbye to what's up here. Say goodbye. So let's do another one here. Ooh, look at that, pretty red. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, and if we have here and here, and if we have, let's say, oh, that's terrible. If we have, sorry, negative 250 and 250, but we have the absolute value line around it. 250, 250, and 250, and 0 here. These, when you have absolute value, wow, that's terrible, are both worth the same. They're both worth the same amount. Negative 250 with the absolute value is the same as 250. Okay? Let me see if I can get, computer doesn't have that feature on here. Okay, anyway. So let's do a real problem here. We're going to erase all this. We're going to clear it off. So if we have something like this, if we have negative 5 times, now when you do this, when it's on the outside of a negative, like an absolute value, let's say, let's go 20 minus 22. All right. Now, normally, we made this pretty easy. 20 minus 22 is negative 2. So we have negative 5. And then times the absolute value of negative 2. Now we know that a negative times a negative is a positive. However, because absolute value takes this and makes this negative into a positive. So it's going to be negative 5 times 2. So negative 5 times 2, negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, so you need to know that. And you can use your calculators on this, okay? So don't be afraid to use your calculators on these problems. But you have to remember that a calculator is not going to help you turn this negative, if it's an absolute value, it's not going to help you turn this negative into a positive. Okay, so you have to know to do that on your own. All right, so make sure you do that. That's important. All right, very important to be able to do that on your own. Okay, so here we go. Let's do another one. Let's do, I'm going to experiment here. Let's do, can we do this? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, there's no lines on this. Is there? Let me do it like this. Nope. Okay, we have to do it freehand. I'm sorry. So we're going to go -6, and we're going to multiply times absolute value of 4 minus 7. So I want all of you to try to do this on your own. And I want you to chat me back, private chat. We're going to test and see how you guys do on this. This is a test to see how you do in the chat. Do private chat with the answer, okay? And we're going to work on it together. So 4 minus 7 is going to be -3, right? So we're going to go over here. We have -3. I want everybody to try. At least I want you to at least try so you know how to chat. And I want you to do private chat so I know that you know how to chat to me only, okay? So we have -6 times the absolute value of -3. So I think most of you can do 6, most of you can do 6 times 3 in your head, okay? And if nothing else, you have it on your calculator. Good, I see a lot of participation. Now, a negative times a negative would normally be 18, but because we have an absolute value, that gets rid of the negative. So it's going to be -6 times 3. All right, let's see how everybody did. All right, and so we got a lot of people who said -18. And that's not true. Somebody said I never respond to them, and I do. I just did. Okay, so there we go. So we have -18. All right, because we removed that. All right. So we're ready to try some different problems. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some examples here. And all right, that's fine. Somebody said they couldn't hear, and that's okay. We're going to get going here, okay? So let's clear this off. All right, so absolute value, we're going to do some absolute value here. Well, you know what? I just figured something out. Okay, draw straight line. Look at that, I'm learning. This is day 7 of using Zoom. Doing online teaching, my first time, so I'm still learning, people. Not an expert. All right. So I want you, as we go, I want you to be able to do some of these. I'm going to give you some of these are going to be easy, and some are going to be not so easy. All right. So we're going to go like this, negative 10. This will be 12. This will be negative 13. Do these on a piece of paper as I'm doing them, okay? This will be 17. This is going to be, now this is going to be a little tricky. This is going to be negative 14. And this last one's going to be negative 20. Messing with your heads, but you guys are smart. Okay? I'm going to give you about a minute to do this. Okay? You're looking at it, you're going, man, he's mean. But this is the stuff you're going to see on the test, and so you need to be able to do it. Okay? So it's very important that I give you things that you're going to see on the test, and then that way we duplicate what we see on the test, and then when you see on the test, you go, well, Sean already showed me this piece of cake. I want to blitz through it. Okay? All right. So what you can do now, if you want, go on chat and start, and then we'll go like this. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you guys can show me how smart you are, okay? Just type them out on chat, and I'll start writing out the answers, and you can write out the answers as you go too, okay? I'm not gonna look at them until I'm done writing them out. I'll start writing them out now, okay? And you guys can write them out and show how brilliant you are, okay? So number 1, because it's absolute value, negative becomes a positive. This is 10. It's negative 10, it becomes 10. All right. Number 2, 12, it just stays the same. 12 is 12. Sometimes people overthink it. They'll go, oh, what does that mean? You know. So 2 just stays the same as 12. Number 3, negative 13 is just like number 13. Number 3, negative 13, absolute value of negative 13 is the same as number 1, the absolute value of negative 10 becomes 10. You get rid of the negative, it just becomes 13. All right? Now, number 4 is the same as number 2. Any positive number has absolute value around it, just stays the same. 17. Now, number 5, this is where it gets tricky. When you have absolute value, you remove the absolute value, and whatever sign is outside the absolute value, that's what it becomes. Well, if it's a positive sign, it's like, that's not going to change it. However, if it's a negative sign, then the number will become negative. So if we get rid of the absolute value, that is 14. And then if we have a negative outside it, then it becomes negative 14. Okay? Now this one, you're thinking negative and negative becomes positive if you get really confused, but that's not right. If you look at it, you look at it, you go negative 20. Now, because it's absolute value, this is the, you remove the negative, it's going to become positive, it's going to become 20. But then you have the negative out here, then it's going to become negative 20. And that's going to be the same. And here, I'm going to set up a problem here, okay? So if we have, let's say we go 6 minus 20. Okay. If we have 6 minus 20, that becomes negative 14, right? But because of the absolute value, that's going to become 14. Okay. Now, if we were to stick a negative out here, then the negative will go over here and it'll become negative 14. That negative is going to override anything that happened over here, because anything that's going on in here is going to become positive. But if you have a negative, the negative is going to come over here when it happens to be absolute value. Okay? Let's see. Somebody said something over here. Let's look. Thank you, Megan. Oh, good job, Luke. Okay. So are people understanding this? So these, what I try to do is I try to hit on things that you're going to see on the test. These down here, I'm circling, this was not even in the book. They missed this stuff, and shame on them for doing that, because that's not going to help you, but we hit that. Okay, so let's do some problems together. Okay, let's clear this. I'm going to put up about 4 problems, and I'd like you guys to try. And I want you to do these. I need you guys to chat me. I don't care if they're wrong, okay? Not like, no feedback is bad feedback, because I don't know if you're not getting it or not. Like, if you're not writing anything, then I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I need you to send me like your answers. And so if they're wrong, that's feedback for me. But if I don't get anything, then I don't know what I'm doing as far as if you're lost or not. Okay? Like my screen that I see here is like, you're all blanks. Like when I'm in class, I can look at your faces and I can see that you're lost. Here I see black. I see black screens, and so like this is what I see, and I can't read that. Okay, and so I try to get feedback through your chat, and so if you could do that, that's going to help me. Okay, so help me help you. Okay, so what part don't you understand? I'm not saying who doesn't understand. So here, let's go to all of it. All right, so let's try. So when we're doing this. So when we're going to review it real quick because we need to review something real quick. So absolute value, this is 0, okay? So when we're doing absolute value, absolute value measures how far something is from 0, okay? That's it. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It's just how far it is from 0. So if it's negative 1 or it's negative 50 or 75, all it matters is just how far away it is from 0. But it doesn't take into account that it's negative. So if we have absolute value, negative 50 and 75, when we write it out, this is going to be 50 spots from 0. Even though it's negative, it's still 50 spots or 50 spaces away from 0. 75, even though it's positive, is 75 spots or spaces away from 0. It's just how far away it is from 0. Well, it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. It's just how far away it is from 0. That's all that matters. It's absolute value. Doesn't matter doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Okay. All right. Let's try this. And so let's do. So if we have, and so that's what happens when you see these lines. If you see these lines, these straight lines, that removes any negative that's on the inside. Okay? So if we have negative 5 times negative 4. This is the same, you do the same thing here as you would here. Negative 5 times negative 4. Okay? You're still multiplying. It's just that with this one here, with these lines, the negative goes away, whereas with this, the negative stays. The absolute value removes the negative on the inside here because it's absolute value. The negative becomes just 4. So in this case, this is going to become negative 5 times 4. Okay, and that's going to equal negative 20, whereas this one down here, a negative times a negative is going to equal a positive. So in this case, this one right here, somebody got this one right, negative 20, while the one down below becomes negative times a negative is going to be positive 20. Okay. People doing okay so far? Oh, we added another person. You guys are doing great. We're picking up more people this week. I love it. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna do 5 plus negative absolute value of -6. So remembering that if it's absolute value, a negative becomes positive. So 5 plus -6. So 5 plus -6 that becomes 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 becomes 11. That was pretty easy. All right. I'm going to clear this off. I'm going to do 3 problems. I want you guys to all try these. I want you to send me answers, okay, on your chat. We're going to go -3 times absolute value of 52. So that's -3 times the absolute value of 52. And then you're going to have 3 times the value of -52. And let's go -3 times the absolute value of -52. So it's going to be the same number, but then we're going to have to figure out whether it's going to be negative or positive each time. Okay, so it's going to be pretty easy to figure that part out. So we're getting some answers in here pretty quick. So I think we got, for each of these, it's going to be 156, right? I think we're all pretty good on that. And 156. We got a lot of answers rolling in. That's good. Okay. I haven't looked to see how we're doing. So the first one, oh, you know what? Let's take a look. See how people are doing. We got okay. So the first one, so 3 times 52. -3 times 52 is 156. And -156, sorry. The second one is 3 times the absolute value of -52. That becomes a positive. So this is just going to stay 156. And then this one down here is the same as number 1, because 52 and the absolute value of -52 are the same, because the absolute value of -52 and 52 are both going to end up being 52. And so that's going to end up being 52 times negative 3. So that'll end up being negative 156. Okay, because it's all determined by the negative 3. Okay. All right, let's clear this off. We're going to do some stuff that's kind of in, and so this is kind of like parentheses, but in absolute value style. Let's go like this. 8 minus 12. So we have 8 minus 12. All right. That's our first one. And then I want you guys to send answers again. Let me see. Love your sending answers. Good. Good. People are doing good. Jeez, people are whipping through this thing. Okay. And then we have, this one's going to be 8 minus 12 with a negative on the outside. All right. So there's going to be 2 answers on this. And then we're going to do one more. We're going to do 8 minus 12 times, in fact, we're going to do 2 more. And we're going to do times negative 2. Okay, so right here we have 8 minus 12, and we have 8 minus 12 with a negative sign. And then we have 2 times the absolute value of 8 minus 12. And then we have 8 minus 12 times negative 2. So we have a lot of answers. You guys are doing really good. Sometimes I think we're getting better participation online than we do in class, which is funny. Okay, let's go. 8. Okay, we ready? So let's go like this. So on this first one is 8 minus 12. So 8 minus 12 is negative 4, but then the absolute value removes the negative, so this becomes 4. Now we have 8 minus 12. This is negative 4. Then it becomes 4, but it's 4, but then you have the negative out here, which we add on, and then it becomes negative 4. Okay, so that gets added on there at the end. Now, this one, 8 minus 12 is negative 4, but then because it's absolute value, you get rid of it, it becomes 4. So it becomes 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay, I think we had a lot of 8s. And then the last one is 8 minus 12, which is negative 4. Because it's absolute value, we get rid of the negative 4. Then it becomes negative 2 times 4 equals negative 8. Let's see. You're trying, buddy. That's okay. It's okay, Erica. We're learning. Okay. All right. How's everybody feeling? You feeling okay? Here, let's try it. Let's try it. Good. We're getting a lot of, I mean, like we're getting a lot of, we're getting better participation here than we do in class, which is unbelievable. All right, let's do a couple more and then we'll call it good, okay? Oh, right, like a first grader. All right. In fact, first graders probably write better than I do. Let's go like this, -6, absolute value of -6 minus the absolute value of -7. That's one. I think I already gave you harder problems than that. And then go -14 plus the absolute value of -28 divided by 2. We'll do those two and then we'll shut her off, okay? Oh, you guys are doing great. I can see you. Yeah, I can see you. All right, so we go here. And we'll go here. All right, so absolute value of -6 is 6 minus the absolute value of 7 is 7, which is -1. Okay, let's see. How are we doing? Come on. Close on that one. So remember, it's 6 minus 7, okay, on that one. And then number 2, this is -14. There's no absolute value around here. So it's -14 plus, so on this one, -28 divided by 2. So knowing that we have absolute value, I mean, all you have to do is just go, don't even worry about the negative. Just go 28 divided by 2. What's 28 divided by 2? 28 divided by 2 is 14, right? So we're going to have 28 divided by 2 is 14. Or it's actually -14, but because the absolute value becomes 14, right? And then we have -14 plus 14. -14 plus 14 is a big fat, say it, say it, say it, somebody say it, somebody say it, 0. That's right. Big fat 0, and we're going to end on that. Thank you, Megan. We end on the big fat 0. Okay, that was a great way to end class with the big fat 0. All right. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? We're not doing those. Polynomials. You can thank me tomorrow. Take your Tylenol tomorrow. You get a headache. No, don't take Tylenol. Don't take your drugs. Anyway, that's it. You guys did a great job. It's exactly 11 o'clock. We stopped just in time. All right. Have a good one. I'll talk to you Thursday.